So let us start first with the consequences on a mortgage. The average family takes out a loan of $172,000 to buy their home with a monthly mortgage payment of around $1,000. The expected increase in Treasury bond rates would translate into higher rates for mortgages, and it would cost the average family about $1,000 more per year. Now, this would be on new loans, but families who have adjustable rate mortgages based on the Treasury rates would also be impacted. Let's take a second look then at credit cards. Families use credit to pay for everything, from food to gas to prescription drugs. And especially true during hard times such as we are in now. The median balance for an American with credit card debt was $3,300 in 2009. And that means the average family with credit card debt will pay, well, about $250 more per year. And then let's turn to some of the other family expenses. Analysts estimate that a technical default on bonds will also diminish the trading value of the dollar, maybe causing it to fall 5% or so against competing currencies. This has a direct impact, and we'd feel it most directly in the cost of oil. Now, I have been arguing that we need a plan to end our dependence on overseas oil. We send $1 billion a day out of our country, and that creates jobs overseas rather than creating jobs here at home. But ending our dependence on overseas oil can't happen overnight, so all of the costs of that additional oil at a different exchange rate would be felt in the family budget. Indeed, if there was a decline of 5%, the impact would be felt on food. It takes a lot of energy to power agriculture. Estimate is about $318 more per year for the family. That's a J.P. Morgan estimate. Similarly, on utilities. We've all heard horror stories throughout the recession of families having to decide which utilities to pay first. Mothers and fathers sitting around the kitchen table thinking, can we get by without electricity? Or should we postpone the water payment? Or perhaps the natural gas payment? Well, default would make the situation worse for families, adding, at that 5% estimate from J.P. Morgan, about $182 more per year. And remember, this is the best case analysis. Gasoline at the pump, similarly affected. Taking and looking at the average consumption per year, well, families would pay about $100 more per year on gas. And again, best case. And then if we total these up, we can see that the overall cost for a middle-class family would be on the order of about $1,850, or round it off, $2,000 a family. Now, I don't know about the block that you live on, but the block I live on, $2,000 is a real blow for working families. And that's just the beginning of this story. Because as it unfolds, the impact on the dollar and the shock waves that it would flow would very likely send us into a double-dip recession. Now, it would have an impact as of August 2nd or 3rd on Social Security and Medicare payments. The Bipartisan Policy Committee has taken a look at it, and backing up Senator Schumer's statements, there wouldn't be enough revenue coming in to cover all of our obligations. The stock market would probably take a hit. 401ks could be severely impacted. Other savings severely impacted. And we all know how that felt in late 2008 and 2009, when families often saw their life savings wiped out in a few short weeks. But the bigger issue here is jobs. Perhaps more than 500,000 jobs could be lost. This analysis from the Third Way, their estimate is 640,000 jobs. Now, Oregon has about 1% of the nation's population, so this would translate into about 6,000 to 7,000 jobs in my home state. We would love to have an increase of 6,000 to 7,000 jobs in Oregon, and we would hate to see a loss of 6,000 to 7,000 jobs, and I know that that would extend throughout our nation, that we need more jobs, not fewer jobs.